Testing. Now can people hear me? Testing 1, 2. That was weird. My mic wasn't working. All right, now, good morning. Morning, Kirk. Freedom Futures. Good morning. How we doing? Hey, Rock. Good morning. I wasn't muted, but somehow my mic just wasn't working. I guess it's Monday. Now, I gotta check this. Okay, boys, 9:30. Market is open. Looks like it wants to go higher right now. Hey, Mitchell, good morning. Good morning, Bing. That's right, Mitchell. Hit that like button. All right. Well, we had a really nice Sunday evening last night. Had a gap higher, and we had a gap and go all in the overnight session. So very interested to see what we do here. Is this thing gonna keep going higher? ES is looking pretty bullish. NQ, yeah, looking pretty bullish as well. Man, we're not, ES barely pulling back. NQ at the highs, moving higher. ES moving higher. Maybe we get an up day. Maybe we get an uptrending day today. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've had just a nice uptrending day. Excuse me. NQ, like, looks like NQ is gonna get to that 400 level. See if we get a pullback here. We don't have, okay, as far as news, we don't really have any news coming out. So if we get a pullback here, we can look at an entry. But man, right now I gotta use the restroom. I will be right back. All right, we're back. Oh, wow. So NQ broke out here. Man, we actually could. We're taking this setup. Come on, keep going. Need this thing to break out. Go rip. Get the ripping. Nah, it's going to take me out. Hey, Design. R5 Studios, Garrett, Black Coffee Trader. Hey, how we doing, Black Coffee Trader? I have it on good authority. I have it on good authority that Black Coffee Trader is Jerry Mullet. Can you confirm? I like your name, by the way. Hey, confirmed. I mean, we barely made a new high here. All right, now we're making a new high. Wow, this thing's just gonna keep ripping, huh? NQ tested 450. Oof. Ain't no way Nutty took a trade in the morning. You know it. You know it. We did it. Then we got stopped out on our runner. There's a shocker. There's a shocker. All right, let's see. Can we come back and test this EMA again? Then we can get in again. So we'll do it. We will do it. Wow. It's just ripping. Should have kept my stop at my original place. I'm starting to really... I went back and looked at my prior trades on my runners to see if I should keep my stop at my original stop. And I don't know. It definitely would have worked out a couple times, but definitely would have not worked out a couple times. But if we look on the daily chart here, like we shouldn't be shocked that we're bouncing here. We're right here on the bottom of this channel, so I'm definitely not going to be shocked if we make a little bit of a move here. Same with NQ. So definitely not going to be not surprised if we make a move. Let's see if we can get a pullback. Grip it and rip it, Garrett. Yeah, that's right. I wouldn't mind what we need on this account. We need a really, really good runner. That's what we need. Days like today, we has potential. Has the potential. Oh, Akash, no, don't do that. I did not allow it. And we haven't talked about it yet, but at some point today, we need to talk about the Browns and how they've managed to lose that game. Unbelievable. They should not have lost that game. It feels bad. Come on, come and give me a chance here. Let's look at the 60-minute chart here. 60-minute chart, it's going to be very important to get above this 41.85 level. Yeah, we need to get above the 41.85. Then we need to get above the 4200s. That's going to be the next kind of areas to watch. Good morning, Dr. Phil. Good morning, A Cash, Garrett, NB92. Good morning, everybody. Come on, pull back here. Let's see what we can do. We've got a potential here. And now it's looking like it wants to pull back further here. All right, I will leave you go. I will let you go here and see if it wants to pull back more. Kind of had this prior resistance here at 41.82 from Friday. Okay, maybe I was accidentally muted, possibly. Okay, fine. I was muted accidentally. Fine. I'm allowed one mute per day. Hey, good morning, patient trader. Keith, good morning. Alex Trading, Momentum Trading. Sorry guys, I was muted. I was talking to myself this whole time. I hate it when that happens. This is where I get very hesitant, like especially on NQ. We did not make new highs there, and because of that, now I'm very hesitant on even on ES here. All right, now we're gonna try and make a move again. Still not any momentum here for the bulls, really. And now pull them back. Yeah, this thing is looking a little sus for the bulls, but we shall wait and see. Yeah, maybe not. Now we just might be in a chop zone. How much money I've made to this point? $2,400 is what I've received in payouts, so not much. What's my computer specs? Oh, people ask me and I always forget. So I have for a processor, I have the 13th generation Intel Core i9 13900K, 64 gigabytes of RAM, and what else? What's my graphics card again? Design. Deal system booster. My rig. Here we go. I should know what I have, but I just keep forgetting. So 64 gigabytes of RAM, like I said, 13th generation Intel Core i9 13900K, which is a really good processor. And then I have for the graphics card the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4090 graphics card. She's a beast. She's a beast. We like her. Wow, look at that pullback. And that was a little, this might be a little bit of a fake out to get the short, or get the, take out some stops maybe, huh? Now we rip higher, question mark. But yeah, my computer is really beefy because I do also do drawings and design work with this computer and trading at the same time. So that's why it's a beast. But I definitely like, I love this. I love this computer. This thing is great. Oh, we are pulling back now again. All right, what are we thinking here? Is it time to look for shorts? I mean, right here, we could almost look at this as a setup. Not quite. Did not quite get my signal bar there, but this is where the confirmation bias is really kind of clashes with my trading, because I want to look at taking longs, but right now this is setting up for a short, and technically I should take it. The market doesn't care what I think. Hey, nice one. Black coffee trader, awesome. Yeah, yep, I hear you. Did anyone see, or did everyone see the Top Step they on Friday? I think it was. They did have a free reset that they sent out. Did you guys see that? I took advantage of it. Zion Banks. I do. I'm sorry. I did forget. I actually do. I know my PC is really good, but I forget the actual specs for it. What does the consistency rule mean, Akash? I mean, basically, you just don't. Um, uh, I mean, they have a 30. Apex has a 30% consistency rule, which means, if you have if you're, let's say you have 5,000 in profit when you request a withdrawal. So if you have a $5,000 profit in your account when you go to request your withdrawal, then you take 5,000 times 30%. So that means to stay within the 30%. One day can't your highest profitable day should be below $1,500. Basically, that's what that means. All right, so now we've made a candle closed above this, so we do, I mean, I guess, hang on. According to my rules here, this is technically, I feel like it's being a little picky, but okay, maybe we go test the highs again. Come on, give me a chance here to get in. I see UProfit finally has UProfit finally has a sale. I've been kind of watching UProfit because I don't know if you guys remember, like UProfit used to have that Freedom account. But they don't have it anymore, and like they made some changes on their payout policy, and I feel like they've kind of disappeared. They've kind of just fallen off since then, or maybe it's just me, but I really haven't heard much from them. They didn't really do any sales, but now I just saw an email that said they have a 50% sale, but yeah, I don't know. It's also very interesting that Elite Trader Funding, they no longer are you allowed to have 20 accounts with Elite Trader Funding. Very, I don't know. I just find that interesting. When I went on purchasing Apex Trade, it says 147 monthly. I mean, Acash, you shouldn't be paying 147 monthly. There should be a code. If you put in the code Nutty80, you should get a 90% off of that 147. Make sure you use a code. Do not pay that much, please. And then the reoccurring monthly fee is 80% off. If they have a trailing drawdown, they have different options. You can have one with or without. You are ignoring my chat. Crypto Monster, can you explain what is the 20% trading rule on Apex? I'm not 20% trading rule? What is that rule? I'm not sure what it is. What do you mean? What am I missing? How much do I need to pay monthly? I mean, so Acash, you buy the evaluation account, use the code, you get 90% off. If you pass the evaluation within that 30-day window, then that's your only charge for the evaluation account. Now, if you need more than 30 days, then you're going to get charged again, at an 80% discount. But once you pass it, then that monthly goes away. It's canceled and you don't need to worry about it. Or if you blow the account, you can leave it, not cancel it, and you'll get charged again. And when it charges you again, it also serves as a reset. All right, ES coming down, just not looking to Let's see. Now we're see if we test this VWAP right here. Basically NQ doing very similar action here. Just slowly bleeding lower. The 20% flipping rule. Oh, Crypto Monster. Okay, so the 20% flipping rule, that is only applied to funded accounts crypto. Basically what that means, so you have to have 10 trading days in between payout requests with Apex. So you can only flip 20% of your days of that 10 days. That's what that means, Crypto Monster. So basically 10 days, 20% of that, is 2 days. So of the 10 days, 2 of those days, technically, you can flip a contract just so it counts as a traded day. But you can't do that for more than 2 days of that 10-day window in between your payout requests. Okay, here we are. Keep selling off. No problem, crypto. Basically, they don't want you just flipping contracts. If you had 2 days or 3 days that you did really well and then just flipping contracts to accumulate the remaining 10 traded days, they don't want you doing that. They want you to keep trading the way that you're trading to be consistent. Well, we are now at VWAP and this thing just continues to bleed lower. I mean, we are still intact as far as our uptrend here, but short term, we're definitely in a downtrend. Let's see if we can get something. See if we can get something going. Yeah, and there we go. Keeps on selling off. What's the 50% code? Cheap properties? Oh, you were reading up on UProfit this week, and it seems that there are no restrictions on withdrawals, no threshold minimum of $100 withdrawal in between each withdrawal. What is the code? Hang on, let me find it. I used to be affiliated. I mean, I guess I still am affiliated with UProfit, but I don't really go out of my way to promote them, but just because I don't really use them anymore. But if you do want to use my code, that would be cool. Actually, look at, oh, interesting. It's so this is so confusing. I'll just post it in chat if you want to use it. But that should be all you need. Let me. Well, this thing is going to retrace this whole move, huh? I mean, we're. So the coupon code to use is Hallow. Here, let me just. That's what you need to use for your code. I think. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what it is. Man, it's crazy. This thing just wants to keep selling off. How long is it good? They have it listed as it is good until November 3rd at midnight. November 3rd at midnight. Well, 4184, we could not get above that. Look at this. We've now pulled back to 141 or 4160. I mean, look at NQ. NQ has now retraced this whole move. I guess we shouldn't be surprised. I mean, this has happened every day. What is going on with my pivot points here? Not sure what's going on here, but whatever. Lilu CEO informed everyone that beginning from 1st November, they're going to have the biggest sales ever, 95% or above. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, it looks like Mount Fuji. That is true. It does. It is crazy, crazy. Let's see if we bounce off this kind of double bottom here at the 41.58. Hey, Dario Trader. Good morning. You were in a GAT timeout. Does Apex have a consistency rule on their PA accounts? Yes, knick-knack, they do. They have a 30% consistency rule on the funded accounts. If you don't like consistency rule on funded accounts, then trade day and take profit is kind of who I recommend, but there's other ones as well. And that's why I think, each of these prop firms, they offer something unique, and you just have to kind of list what's important to you. Like maybe end of day drawdown is important, maybe no consistency rules. Like list what is important to you and then try and find the prop firm that fits and that is right for you. That's really all we can do. RM Trades, hey, good morning. Dallas Fed news at 9:30. What? Yeah, Lilu, I just don't. I don't know. I'm not. To me, I just didn't I just didn't feel comfortable with it, but it is what it is. To each his own. All right, are we gonna break through these lows? Crypto. How do you trust any prop firm after my Forex funds? Cash. I mean, you have to understand the what my Forex funds was actually doing. Which is why I don't trust prop firms with that use Forex. I just don't. That's why I don't trade Forex, because it's not regulated. They can they can say everything they want. These brokers can say anything they want, but in reality, they can manipulate spreads, and they can do a lot of manipulation, and just not a fan. I'm just not a fan. And I guess that's my 2 cents. Now, here's the thing. If I was a trader and I was, I would never keep all my money in a prop firm ever. I mean, regardless what prop firm it is, I don't care if it is the most reputable prop firm in the history of existence. I just wouldn't. I would not keep my money. Like if you were like $100,000, $200,000 in profits, that to me isn't smart. Just, take the money out, at least some of it, pay yourself, make sure, it's just not smart. Not smart even. That's just me. If I have 20 Apex accounts, Acash, yes, I do. What about Apex regarding their payout and stuff? Well, so Apex, so with the futures prop firms, they cannot manipulate price. They can't. It's regulated. Now, are there? So again, like I said, I just don't. To me, that's the biggest difference. Or I don't understand. Here's what I don't understand. Like, what is the benefit? Like, what is the benefit of someone trading a Forex versus futures? I have yet to fully understand the benefit of that. Like, why would someone trade Forex instead of futures? Like, I'm actually genuinely curious. Hey, Bacon Turkey Club, how we doing? I mean, I know a lot more people trade Forex. I know that. Okay, here's the thing. Here's what I don't like. And I've talked about this before. If you look on YouTube, most of the big views, like the larger audience, is Forex, but it's because there's a reason for that. Okay. And the reason is these Forex brokers, they pay these influencers on YouTube and Instagram, they pay these guys insane amounts of money to promote them as a broker. On the futures side of it, no one's going to pay, no broker will pay anyone because there's no, like, it's regulated. So a broker for futures is really not that important. It really isn't that much, that big of a deal. Where for Forex, it is a huge deal. And it is a huge industry of competition on trading Forex because it's not regulated. And again, like, that's why I don't like it, because all of these influencers that trade Forex, you trust me, there's a reason they were promoting brokers. They're getting paid a lot of money to promote them. And there's just been way too many cases where these brokers have then been treating these influencers differently than they treat the normal people. And they're wiping away their losses. They are manipulating their profits to make it look like they're making tons of money, when in reality they are not. It's just more of a scammy industry because it's not regulated. I don't know. And I don't care what, I mean, those are just the facts. And I don't care if you're a Forex broker, you're not regulated. There is no such thing. You are not regulated if you're a Forex broker. And if they tell you they are, then they're just lying. We are just hanging out here. The Forex has more international access. I guess I don't know exactly about the futures, if they have international access or not, but yeah. I don't know. All I know is I don't understand why someone, I've yet to have someone explain to me, like, in a realistic manner, like, especially influencers. This is more what I'm talking about. Like, influencers on Instagram and on YouTube that promote and trade Forex. Why? Why are you trading Forex instead of futures? Like, and because it's been proven time and again that the unregulated industry of the Forex is setting people up to get taken advantage of. Hey, good morning, David White. More liquidity, more leverage. Nah, I don't buy that. I mean, the more leverage thing is really kind of proves my point. There's a reason that you have more leverage. I mean, it's one thing if someone chooses. That's not really my question either. Like, my question is if you're an influencer or a, guru or whatever, like, why promote trading Forex or Bitcoin, that type of stuff? Like, that has a proven track record of some shady business and some shady stuff going on, where you have an opportunity to promote something that's actually regulated. So why? I mean, it's pretty evident why. It's because they're getting paid tons of money. I mean, that's why. I mean, we have, like, it's pretty easy to see, but I mean, it's, I guess, to each his own. If you want to trade Forex, then go for it. Just don't come crying to me when things don't go well and you get MFFs type of stuff happens. There are legit exchanges. There are not regulated exchanges. No, there's not. You can call them legit just because they don't. I mean, I'm not saying that there's not some out there that are doing everything on the up and up, but you don't know. I mean, everyone thought, everyone thought my Forex funds was on the up and up. Okay. Everyone was like, oh, they're legitimate. They're, my Forex funds, oh, they've been around forever. And, everyone and, promoting them and et cetera, everything was great. Well, now we know it's not true. And you don't know if you think MFF is the only one that was doing this, then I'm sorry, but you are mistaken. And that's kind of what I mean. Like, why take the chance? Why? I don't get it. Yeah, or Sam Bankman-Fried. Everyone thought he was legit. Everything was great until it wasn't. The problem with unregulation is greed. People are greedy. And if there's no one regulating and if there's no regulation to it, people are greedy and they will take your money and they will laugh in your face. It's been proven time and again. Which is why, like, I would never, I don't care what prop firm, whoever, I would never keep a large amount of profit in a prop firm, ever. Take it out. I mean, do with whatever you want with the money, but don't keep it in a prop firm as a savings kind of, and treat it like a savings account or something. Don't do that. Or if you want to, I mean, do as you want. Sam Bankman-Fried was your motivation. I will say, I don't know if about you guys, but I used to well, I still do. I love the oh my gosh, I'm blank now. Shark Tank, okay? I loved watching Shark Tank. Been a huge fan of Shark Tank for a long time, but I tell you what, who's the old geezer? What's his name? Man, I lost all respect for him when Sam Bankman-Fried was taken down and everything that he did. I mean, this guy, first of all, yeah, Kevin. So this guy received like over $16 million from Sam Bankman-Fried to promote XYZ. And then he goes, once everything came out, I mean, you just had to use a little bit of common sense. Yeah, Mr. Wonderful, exactly. Like all it required was a little bit of common sense. It was very easy to see this Sam Bankman-Fried guy is not a good guy. And yet here he was defending him and going on all these different shows and defending the guy. Like, I mean, come on. I lost a lot of respect for that guy and that show through that. Like, come on. I mean, the fact that they had that little operation and Sam Bankman-Fried's girlfriend was their finance person, and they were literally, basically, they were trading with people's funds. That's what was happening. They were trading with billions of dollars. And I mean, it's comical what they were doing. Like, because, like, it's just, oh, it hurts my soul. But you know what? That's just how people, it will happen. It happens, unfortunately. Yeah, the whole thing, like, yeah, that's why you have trust issues with your girlfriend. Yeah, it's just sad. I mean, the problem is just like it's the problem as a whole is greed. Okay, like that's the end all. That is the bottom line issue because greed is why people were investing in that crypto market. Okay, and greed is also why it went down. Like the owners were greedy and the investors were also kind of greedy. And it was kind of I mean, I'm not like the investors definitely did not deserve what happened to them at all. But once anytime someone promises you like a certain percentage of return, anytime anyone ever tells you, hey, I can guarantee you 15% returns per year, or I can guarantee you 30% returns per month. Anytime someone does that, guys, it just run. It's, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people are like, oh, well, I need to get in on this. Ugh. Where all that money go from FTX? It went into the market. That's from what I understand. They basically were trading it. They were trading it on high leverage. Can you guys imagine the amount of position sizes and this, like, can you guys imagine how much trading was done in order to lose billions of dollars? Like, you almost have to be impressed. I mean, I'm not a great trader, but I'm not even sure I could somehow lose $7 billion. Like, how do you even do that? I mean, with $7 billion, you I mean, maybe I'm naive, but you would think it would take quite a bit of effort to lose that much money. Like it would actually require focus and energy, and somehow maybe it wouldn't, but it feels like it would be difficult. Ugh. I mean, they were probably like, what? Instead of trading 3 minis, they were trading 3,000 minis. I guess then it would add up. If they traded 3,000 minis, one tick is $37,500. One tick. Oh man. I guess I can see how they lost 7 billion. Oh man. Yeah, your guys are probably right. Just over leveraged, and I just don't get it. But I understand it. They lost a lot of money. Obviously they were going all into Bitcoin and all that. So basically when Bitcoin started going down, they lost money out of both ends in a sense. But yeah, that's right. Ukraine. Ukrainian, it's like, why do you don't need to use risk management if you're trading other people's money. That's very true. No risk management needed for trading other people's money. Wow, we are going lower, folks. Look at this. Who would have thought? Who would have thought we'd do another V-shaped reversal day? I'll be honest, I didn't think we had it in us. I thought we were going to do a nice, steady move higher today, but the market said nope. Your wish is denied. Yeah, David White, that's probably true. What is the trade day code? It's blurry. Nutty Bar. Zabak, thank you for using it. I appreciate that. Ooh, now we're getting a spike higher. Get my attention here. We do have a long entry here if we can. Like to see this above the 60s here though. ADR levels, my pet Eskimo. All right, I might check him out. Do you think NXT financial crisis is coming? What's the NXT? That sounds familiar. Now I'm blank. I'm not a predictor of financial crisis is happening. I don't try to predict it because I do not know. But I do know when something is too good to be true to not do it. Oh, hang on. We got a visitor. Hang on. This is actually. Technically, that was my setup. If we get filled here, I'm in. If not, I'm out. Ah. Okay, let's no, don't do this. Don't do this. Daddy. Yeah, Cody. I know. Just give me a second. All right, I gotta go. Everybody, I'm gonna put you guys in charge of this trade. All right. I trust you guys. All right. I'll be right back. We're back. What happened? Hey, we're still in it. Oh, well, this thing is just chopping around here, huh? Come on, need this thing to rip. Right here. Do it. I demand it. Do it and do it now. Ooh, we like that. We like it. Rip it. Rip it. Let's go. Don't come down and stop me out here. Come on, just keep going. Come on. Actually, my stop should be right there. Uh, technically my stop should be right here. What should I do? I'm going to be a little aggressive here and keep my stop right here. Well, this is a little aggressive, but now I will move my stop right here. Now, gotta rip it. Gotta rip it. Come on. Ribbit. Okay, that's what we want to see. Want to see this thing break above the 65s. That'll be very important. Very important here. Come on, got a break right here, right now. Let's go. Do it. No. We're just going to follow our runner strategy here. It's not wanting to break. It's not wanting to break this 65 level. Very likely get stopped out here. But it's all right. If we get stopped out, we get stopped out. Trying to look at NQ, see if we can't get a push through. Got to get a push through here on NQ and ES here. Got to go right now, right here. Come on. Gonna give this room to here. Yeah, it's not doing it. It's teasing, but it's not doing it. And we're stopped out. It's all right. We'll take it. We'll take it. Yeah, I know design, right? All right. We followed our plan. That was a good trade. Now it's rolling over. This is also where I have to be mindful because sometimes right after a trade, I just kind of take a break. And technically, this could be another setup. And if it is another setup that fits everything, fits our setup, then we got to take it. But it's not looking like it. But we just couldn't get above the 65s, couldn't break through it. And then we have the opening range low as well right there. So Oops, sorry. I was muted. Sorry. Ugh. All right, are we going to get a bounce here, or is this thing just going to keep selling off? A 10 range chart. Okay. Hey, Wendell Winifred, good morning. Look at this move. Just a little bit of an overextended pullback here. Not really giving me a chance to get in. Let's see if we get above the 65s on this move. Wow, there it goes. Oh, man, that's a nice move. Why could we not have that kind of move here? Huh? Someone know? Look at that nice move now. What a nice move. Ooh. And we are above VWAP here. I'd love to see this thing pull back now. See if I can't get an entry. Like, see how this thing is just, oh, that's what this is like where the runner does so well when we just have a nice move like this. Unfortunately, we just did not get the setup for it. What are we talking about, Gregory? Yeah, kid poker. Pretty sure that's the truth. That is how it is. If you request a withdrawal from Apex, let's say you're at 3,000 in profit and you request a $2,000 payout, and before those funds gets removed, you start trading and you lose and you go below the $2,600 threshold, I'm pretty sure you will not get that payout. I think. Man, this thing is, what a beautiful move. Oh, it hurts my soul not being that. All right, pull them back. Just kind of see if we get a pullback here to the EMA. Fluid Dream on a 50K account, the max you can take out is 2,000. And yes, you would be allowed to take out 2,000. Would basically leave you $500 of wiggle room. Yeah, A cash. Yep. Well, we might not get a pullback here to the EMA. This is where when we have these really nice strong moves, feel like you just kind of get left out. But that's okay. I mean, it sucks, but we gotta be patient. Hmm. Trader's Chick. Actually, that's a good question. I'm pretty sure, yeah. If you would close your account, then yeah, anything over $50,100 would be yours. You're right. Saboxo on a 25K account, the most you can withdraw is 1,500, I believe. Man, am I right on that? I think so. Hey, here we go. Yeah, David White. Look, your 71's looking good. Your 71 is looking good. This is where it is definitely like if I was just taking discretionary trading, I would probably take it a trade right here. But we're not doing that on this account. Uh-oh, now we're pulling back. Is the same. Okay, I see. Wow, that's a big pullback that we're seeing now on NQ. Not a big one, but a quick pullback. What's doing? Do you have a card? Here, come on. You want to play? Want to play here? Want to play here? You need daddy? Hang on. All right, we're back. Okay, 1,500 max on 25K. I thought that's what it was. Yeah. Thanks for checking that, Trader's Chick. Appreciate that. What are they using to pay out? Deal or something else? So they are using deal is not an option anymore. They are using ACH. You can do an ACH directly into your bank account. That's what I use. If you're international, then you have to use WISE, WISE, and set up an account through that. They will. If you have requested a payment and the status is approved, and then you happen to blow the account, you will still get the approved requested amount. Okay, Bacon Turkey Club. But the question is, so have the funds already been taken out of the account? Which I think once it gets approved, the funds are taken out of the account. But trust me, you will not get paid if the funds are still in the account and then you lose those funds. I mean, if you think you're still getting paid, then you're wrong. That's not happening. I mean, if the approved needs to be, yeah, the funds have to be removed. But obviously, you can be approved and not have the funds removed, I think. I mean, I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that you can be approved and it can take, I mean, you should be getting those funds should be removed, but so you've both been saying the exact same thing. Oh man, David White, that's unfortunate. You were like one tick away from your take profit. That should not be allowed. That should be illegal. Yeah, I would say if you can't use Wise and you can't get it set up, then I would recommend not to use Apex if you can't use Wise if you're international. Yes, you can do international payment, but you just have to have Wise. So go to Wise, you can set up an account, make sure you're verified. If everything is fine in Wise and you're approved in Wise, then you won't have an issue. But if for some reason you can't get approved on Wise and you cannot get an account set up on Wise, then I would caution you, because I've heard a couple people that have had issue with Wise where they've not been able to set up an account for some reason. I don't know if it's in relation to like what country you're from or what the deal is, but other people have used Wise with no issues. But basically, I've not heard of. And if you have a Wise account and you have that set up with no problem, then you shouldn't have any issue. Mhm. Well, this is kind of an interesting here. We're kind of, I mean, we were in this really nice move higher and now we're just kind of stalling. Seems like it doesn't, the bulls don't seem as interested anymore. Why don't I sell funded accounts? Because you can't, I mean, why would I do that? And you can't do that either. Wise potato chips. Oh, is someone asking? Oh, really, Avi? Okay, then, I mean, that might be new, Avi. That used to not be an option. So maybe they changed something. That it could be they changed something on that. So that'd be cool if they did. But now this thing is definitely not looking so hot. Not looking so hot here. Hmm. Wow. Wow. What a move lower. What a move. Yeah, she tripped and cut her chin on the sidewalk. Yeah, she's not looking too good. Just kind of. The sellers are still in control today. What I kind of look at, man, if we lose this kind of trend channel right here, and we start selling down below, eesh, might get ugly. Rich Fibonacci, yeah, I mean, it's true. That is true. We did, if we look at the 60-minute, we can see here what Rich is saying. We took out the high a day here, and we also kind of tested the 100 EMA. You can see here, it's been October 15th. Ever since then, we have not been able to get above this 100 EMA. Every time we've tested it, we've pulled back. Now the question is, do we test these lows again? You can also kind of see here, we have a little bit of a, hang on. We could kind of be forming ourselves a little bit of a channel here on the 60-minute chart. See if we hold this channel here or not. Yeah, design. The poor Browns couldn't pull it out. Man, so the Browns, the game started out pretty bad. We go down 14-0 right off the rip. We have a backup quarterback, and it's not looking good for the Browns. I kind of was like, well, this is just going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those games where we just take the L and we move on, right? And I had kind of accepted that part of it where I'm like, hey, I'm okay. A loss, you're going to have it. Then all of a sudden they turn it around. Next thing I know, it's 14-17. And we're only down by 3 points. So I'm like, oh man, maybe we can pull it out. And next thing I know, it's tied at 17. I'm like, oh, really? There's hope? And I started to actually believe we can actually win this. Then we take the lead and we're up 20-17. And there's 2 minutes in the game. And we're driving. We're at the 40-yard line. We need about, and it's 3rd and 3. It's 3rd and 3, and all we need, we just need like 4 to 5 yards. If we get 3 yards, the game is pretty much over. And remember, we have a rookie quarterback, and we need 3 yards. And I'm thinking, all right, let's just run the ball here. Like, let's run the ball so nothing stupid happens. And we can just, let's just take, even if we don't get a first down, at least we can punt it and maybe pin them way back, and they have to go the full length of the field to try and get a field goal to tie it. But no, some genius decides, hey, I've got an idea. Let's throw the ball on 3rd and 3 with a rookie, backup quarterback. We throw it, and to be fair, it's not really his fault. We throw it, and it hits off the helmet of the defensive lineman, deflects off the helmet, and just kind of pops straight up in the air. And the defender's right there and just catches it, and it's an interception, a turnover. And they have the ball at the 40-yard line with 1:50 to go. And they just need like 30 yards in order to kick a field goal to tie it. So at that point, I'm like, well, you know what? A tie game, we go into overtime. We still got a shot. But no. We then decide this is a great opportunity for the defense to completely stop playing and stop trying. And yeah, the defense, long story short, with 12 seconds left, they score a touchdown to take a 24-20 lead. And it's the end of the game. So there you go. The life of a Browns fan. You love to see it. When did I start trading? I started this morning. I think we started around 9:15, 9:20 this morning. Oh, or did you mean like when I started trading? Not today. Any help here about cash settlement? I mean, this is probably not the place to ask about that. I do not know anything about that, Mickey. It depends on which broker you're with. Oh, you're good, Bacon Turkey Club. You're good. No, okay, sorry, you're good. Yeah, good day to be a Jets fan. Man, I saw the Jets, and I saw like the end of the game, and I thought they had like a 4th down, and they didn't convert. And I'm like, yeah, that game's over. And I turned it off, only to come back later and realize they're in overtime somehow. And I later watched the replay. That was pretty. I mean, the Jets are actually, what are they now? They're 4-3, I think. I mean, I think that's a lot better than a lot of people thought they'd be when Aaron Rodgers went down. Oh, when you sell futures like MES, do you know if they use money to, when you could use that money to buy regular stocks? Oh man, I am not sure, Mickey. I'm not sure actually. Yeah, I'm not sure how that works. As far as, maybe someone here knows. The Jets are trash. I mean, they're 4-3, so they're not. I have a hard time calling them trash because the Browns are 4-3. So once sold, Spider Traders looks like it's settled right away, which I actually kind of agree with that. I kind of think that's correct. Eh. Trying to get my trade day account passed, my take profit account passed. We're not doing too bad. Right now we're like at $600 profit on my trade day, $300 profit on take profit. We're doing pretty good. Actually, so yeah, we Browns at least have a QB. I mean, Greg Fowler, I mean, I would kind of disagree with that. We have PJ Walker, and then we have some kind of bum that has a little tiny hurt in his shoulder, and he can't seem to get over it. Like, I'm so sick and tired of Deshaun Watson. You have no idea. I am so sick and tired of him. Wow, look at this thing rip. Ugh. It's pretty kind of insane price action all of a sudden this morning. We big rip higher, big move lower, big rip higher, big move lower, just up and down again. Can we have a normal day for once? Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that Zach Wilson is great, okay? I am not saying Zach Wilson is great by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe I've got an idea, guys. Greg Fala, maybe the Browns should trade for Zach Wilson and you guys get PJ Walker. I'm not sure who's worse. Yeah, exactly, patient trader. Who knows? Who knows, right? I think the reason he's not playing well anymore, a lot of speculation on this, but supposedly Deshaun isn't playing well anymore since we traded for him. He's been trash, and supposedly, rumor has it, it's because he's no longer allowed to get a massage. And I guess that's really messed with him. Feels bad. All your good feels from last week, Traitorous Chick. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that is crazy. The Broncos won. Oh, I love talking about football. I mean, I don't want to bore you guys, but I love I football is like my favorite sport. It's not even close. And I love following football. So, yeah, that was crazy. The We had the Cowboys just steamroll the Rams, which that was not a shock, or I didn't feel like that was a shock at all. Then the Vikings, man, I feel so bad for Kirk Cousins. Oh, Kirk Cousins is my kind of guy. Okay, me and Kirk Cousins, I could chill with him. He is my kind of. I wish the Browns had him as a quarterback instead of the guy, the guy we have. Um, but yeah, he tore his Achilles yesterday, and he was playing really well. Oh, I feel terrible for him. Then the Falcons and Titans. The Titans' new quarterback, Will Levis, 4 touchdowns on his debut. Not too shabby at all. If I ever played football, no, I did not, because growing up Amish, we don't go to high school. So I never had an opportunity to play football. Now, we used to play, when I was in my teens, like 17 through 20s, we would just get together at a baseball diamond and no pads, nothing, no helmets, and we would play usually 7-on-7 tackle football. Oh yeah. Those were the days. I would get so sore. Oh, that would be brutal the next day. where I grew up in Ohio. Then the Saints seem to come alive. Derek Carr finally playing a little bit better. Then you have the Dolphins against the Patriots. That's a pretty predictable result. Then the Jets, we just talked about them, the Jets and Giants. Jets squeezed out a win. Then the Jaguars and Steelers. Oh, I was so happy the Steelers lost. If the Browns don't win, but the Steelers don't win, like if the Steelers lose and the Browns lose, it kind of evens out for me. So good to see. Then we have the Texans, Panthers. That was kind of a boring game. But yeah, the Chiefs and Broncos. Oh man, that was a rough outing for the Chief fans. But then we have the Ravens and Cardinals. I mean, the Ravens have been looking good. I hate to say it, but the Ravens are looking pretty good. Then the Bengals looked really good yesterday. All of a sudden, the 49ers are looking like an average kind of team. Brock Purdy with 2 picks again. I've never really believed in Brock Purdy. It always felt like he was a little bit of tainted on how good of the players were around him, but he's now starting to turn the ball over, which isn't great. But it is right now. I mean, we have right now the NFL has 1, 2, 3, 4 teams. The Chiefs, the Dolphins, the Jaguars, and the Ravens. 4 teams at 6-2. 4 teams at 6-2. Then there's 1 team at 5-3, the Buffalo Bills. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 teams at 4-3. And the 4 teams that are at 4-3 is the Steelers, the Browns, the Jets, the Bengals, and the Bengals. That's it. So we're right in the middle of it. We are in good shape, but we need to get a quarterback. Like Deshaun needs to come back and play at least relatively well. He doesn't even have to be a superstar. He just needs to play average. And I think we'll be fine. Is it because was Taylor Swift not at the game? I thought it was pretty funny that the Denver Broncos at the end of the game, when the game was over, they were playing Taylor Swift songs in the stadium. That's funny. Then the National League, the Philadelphia Eagles have the best record at 7-1. They just seem to keep finding ways to win. And then we have the Seahawks at 5-2. We should have won that game. We should be 5-2. They should be 4-3. But hey, it is what it is. Then we have the Detroit Lions at 5-2. And the Cowboys at 5-2. And then we have the 49ers at 5-3. Man, things are just really up in the air yet. All right. Now we're just kind of in a choppy area right now. Does my spouse support me in trading? Yes, 100%. Yes, she does. Very supportive and very understanding when I blow accounts. Well, I want to say yes, very understanding, but with some questions. And usually the questions go like this. But why did you do that? which I don't always have an answer for. Well, now we're starting to climb higher, and this is where I don't like. This is what I don't really like when we have. So here we have a lower high here. Then I'm not crazy about taking a long here with, especially with this right here at VWAP. Well, I might go grab me a quick bite to eat right now. It feels like this price is kind of chopping right here now. So this might be a good time to go quickly grab a bite to eat. It should not take long. I will be right back. I have an idea. I'm going to give you guys something to listen to. Give me a second. I did get permission from this guy to and he has some pretty good
If you could only like
all right, I'm going to
stress
put this
proof
on. You
yourself,
guys can
imagine
listen to
what that would
this.
be like in your
Full
trading.
credit
Just
goes
imagine.
to Randall Howell.
Okay, now the question
All right.
is
I'm
what do
going
you mean
to
by stress proofing? What is this going to be? Because
give me a
ultimately, what
second.
we're talking about here is that the people that are most interested in me can trade until the money is real. What's missing? You know, we don't understand stress. We don't understand the way our brains put together. For instance, in stress, the definition of stress that I use is meeting the challenges of any event.
now, and I'm going to make this
That means if there is a
smaller. Give me a
challenging
second. I
event
should have this
in
set
your
up
near
already,
future
but I
heading
don't.
to it or you're in the midst of it, there is going to be a stress response. Okay? The only thing that matters at that particular time is what are the beliefs that you hold about your ability to manage the stressor
All right.
that's
I'm going to keep this
influencing
on. Now I'm going to go eat
the
lunch.
physiology. Now, to put it this way, the physiology can either be distress or I want you to consider this a grand mal seizure. Nobody wants them. They're debilitating. They're just absolute person and absolute harm's way and everything. Now consider this. Consider an orgasm. Now, if you were to take a brain scan of both those two things, the grand mal seizure and the orgasm, do you know what you would find? They look exactly alike. The difference between the two is the interpretation that the observer has about it. I have never met a person that likes a good grand mal seizure, okay? On the other hand, an orgasm, that's different. Do you see the difference in interpretation, the difference in belief? Well, what we want to do is only say, okay, I can trade until the money is real. But the problem is when it gets real, everything breaks up. What is missing here? Well, let's start with the motivations of the brain, okay? Is that what is your brain's biggest deal? Its primary directive is survival in the moment. And what it's going to do is the moment that it sees that it's in the midst of an experience, remember the brain scan, you're in the midst of it. And all of a sudden, though, it says, oh my God, this is terrible, a horrible thing. You have now just found out that the physiology of that stress goes to distress. And all of a sudden, you discover yourself with anxiety and you're in fight flight. However, if you had understood it differently, if you'd seen it as, hey man, I'm really enjoying this. I'm ready for this. I know how to cover my losses. I know how to do this stuff. All of a sudden, you've ended up in eustress, which means that stress seems positive to you. Like every great athletic team in the world gets cranked up before a game. What they're doing is they're using eustress to get that energy level to be able to play beyond their ordinary means. And yet, when you start seeing it, oh, that's eustress. Yeah. What we want to be able to do is figure out how we can produce that eustress so that we realize the stress is going to be there. Now the question is, what kind? It starts in that moment, and you know something? You get it is that a lot of this is just simply the evolutionary psychology. Part of this is also the beliefs that you formed growing up in a family, in a culture, in a community, with circumstances. So we've gotten there and say, wow, okay, it's doing in the moment. So this bias of survival in the moment is everything about forming us. And it just so happens that we are loaded with a bias to think negatively about the future. And so you can understand how in working with stress, anxiety, that it's easy to get out of eustress and over there into distress. So what we want to do is go, well, what are we going to do with that? What are we going to do with this? And what I want to do is talk about 3 different concepts in the brain. First of all, at the very core of our brain is what's known as the reptilian brain. It would be called the brainstem, and it's running on automatic processes and stuff like that that you would never know, like the way your heart keeps beating, the way you keep breathing. All that stuff is working on an anatomic level, and a lot of people might call that unconscious. I'm saying no, what happens is this is a part of the brain that carries on a lot of that stuff. And the response from a reptile to a threat, perceived threat, is one thing. They don't have much thinking going on. However, on the next level is mammalian brain. That's the one that you and I share with other social mammalian animals. And what happens, it's also known as the emotional brain. And again, what I want you to hear is its bias is toward negative interpretation. Okay? It's bias. And if you're going to de-stress yourself, if you're going to stress-proof yourself, you're going to have to take something that has been at least 6.5 million years in the making, and you're going to have to alter it so that just reacting with uncertainty, reacting with threat, does not produce the stress response. It's going to give you a eustress response. Now, that last part that makes us so different, all that green area that we call the gray area called the human brain, the neocortex, we become so identified with this that we think, something, all we need is a good strategy. And, once we get a good strategy, we're going to be able to make money in this. That seems like logical thinking. It's not. It is rationalizing, because what happens at that moment, the thinking brain thinks it doesn't include the mammalian brain. That's a big deal, because the mammalian brain is, if you looked at emotion as the locomotive, a huge locomotive, then thinking brain, thought, would be the caboose. It's along for the ride. It makes up stories. It's where the people go and make up stories about the train. However, the engineer, the driver of that train, are your beliefs. And in trading, they're your beliefs about your ability to manage uncertainty. This is all housed in different places in the brain, and ultimately, until that neocortex, that new brain, and the old brain of the mammalian brain, the emotional brain, come together and start working together, it's going to be difficult, if not impossible, to stress-proof your brain. So the point is, we are not separate from that brain. We have to learn how to work with it. And out of that, what you discover is this. This is more operationally what it would look like. Here you have the geeky thinking brain driving the mind like a car, and it's everything's fine, everything's dandy, and he's totally ignoring this character in the back seat. That back seat is your mammalian brain. It's your caveman brain. And it is so focused on survival in the moment. This rational brain can see probability. But what happens is, if you don't know that caveman's there, if you don't recognize I need a strategy of working with that rather than just trying to stuff it in the back seat and tell it to shut up, how do I calm it down so that when I am facing uncertainty, when I'm facing a challenging situation that I do not have the control over, I only have the control over my performance? You're recognizing that when this caveman guy gets threatened or sees great opportunity, the thinking brain is blown out of the water. So this is the partnership that is just simply going to have to be forged, because ultimately is this: unlike your thinking brain that sees risk and reward. Okay, when you're thinking, that's what you're talking about. There's this ratio of risk and reward, this and that and the other. Like, I'm risking this much capital to make this much money, blah, 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 blah. That's not the way the caveman brain sees it at all. Not at all. And here you are, you have a caveman looking into the eyes of a modern human. And the deal is that your caveman brain is built to react to threat or opportunity. Think about it. It was common for big animals like saber-toothed tigers and big bears to attack and devour human beings. So the thing is, man, you had to be wary, you had to be careful, and that was a threat. Life could be very threatening, and you had to learn to deal with it. So it's wired. It's wired for automatic responses that are outside of thinking when an event like that happens. At the same time, that human represents something completely different. It actually comes to the moment where it can see risk and reward. What we want to do is say, how do we learn to calm our caveman nature down so that we can get to that thinking brain that allows you to trade from patience, from being okay with itself, come win or lose, and to stay disciplined when that loss to the caveman brain, if left alone, is seeing it as a threat to life. But this is the way we have to get it, because understand that caveman does not think the way we think. It can't. It has no idea what money is. Absolutely no thing in money. It sees threat. And again, that's the difference between risk and reward, okay, because that's an intellectual concept, and the difference between that and the caveman seeing something very different. It doesn't see risk and reward. What it sees is, am I going to be devoured? Is this a threat to my biological existence? And if you're sitting there and have problems with entry, and you're one of those people who get there and all of a sudden, as long as nothing's there, maybe it's okay. But when you start seeing that setup form and it starts getting stronger and stronger, more and more closer and closer to where you're going to be having to enter, suddenly what happens, you start looking for more, guess what? More experience, more confirmation, and all of a sudden the trade gets around you. That's the saber-toothed tiger chasing you, but you're running. At the same time, if you face it, you have to get angry. You have impulsively had to fight to the death. That would be, guess what? That would be revenge trading. So you're looking at it going, whoa, the losses are not cerebral to the emotional brain. They are life-threatening. So what I want you to do is I want you to get this and start noticing that maybe you have been absolutely ignoring the way the body, the brain actually reacts to challenging moments. And by not knowing how to do that, not having skills to be able to do that, you're not stress proofing for sure. What you're basically making sure that you end up in repetitive pattern. So what I want to do, I want to take you through a trip. I actually want to talk to you about what happens when your survival brain senses threat. First of all, at the very top in the center, you see sensory input. You start having information coming from your senses about stuff going on there. You're looking at the chart, you're seeing what it's doing, all that stuff, and it's going to the thalamus. This is where there's a gut level analysis going on, and here a decision is made. And in this decision, if you were to view the thalamus as this intersection, busy intersection with a traffic cop moving, letting traffic go this way and that way and stuff like that. But when an emergency truck comes, say a fire engine, what happens is the cop stops traffic in all directions and lets the emergency through. That's called the traffic cop. And ultimately, when that happens, when there is a perceived threat, the thalamus looks at that, shuts off thinking, and you wonder, I was doing fine, then I just got overwhelmed. That's what happened. And suddenly what happens is that you are then, a decision point has been made, and suddenly that signal is directed to the amygdala, and that's 12 nanoseconds. That's called the load road. It's very direct. However, if it's not a threat, what happens is that information takes twice as long to get to the thinking brain, the neocortex, where all the reason and logic are, and you can really go through it, and you can do all your thinking stuff that you were able to do with paper trading. And ultimately, what happens is that, though, if that information gets to the amygdala first, and it's twice as fast, Suddenly it is immediately firing an emotion response pattern that's on automatic and fires immediately. And in 3 nanoseconds, that chemistry is in the bloodstream, altering the way you perceive reality. You're in reactive survival mode. But if you were able to stress proof yourself, what you would be able to calm that down, that caveman down, and you would be able to have it go to the neocortex where you would be able to make a logical, rational decision. And you end up with a probability mind. The deal is this: if you keep waiting to find a strategy that's going to take out this emotional learning you need to do, you're going to be thinking a long time, and it's going to cost a lot of money to you, or you leave a lot of money on the table. It's really up to you. But the thing is you go, well, the deal is really this, is that when the brain invents a short-term solution to deal with that threat, what it does is it wires it in, or actually locks it in, so that it becomes an automatic reactive pattern. So the next time that generalized stress shows up, the brain automatically fires. It wires it right in. And then this is what you experience it is, and after the patterns there, after the emotional patterns there, this is the emotional hijacking, either fear or aggression. It's like a lot of people, sit there and get bored, and I hate that. And when I get bored, I start feeling queasy because other thoughts are coming up. And what happens, I just think to myself, I need to be in a trade. If I'm going to be trading, I have to be trading, right? And you find something not even in your trading plan, and before you know it, you're out to lunch, and you have no idea why. This is what happened, friends. This is exactly what happened. So the question really is, how do you free yourself from this evolutionary dead end? Because think about it. Traders get into this evolutionary dead end a lot when you understand that 98% of traders lose. And out of that, there comes a drain on capital, a drain on social support, all that stuff, and all of a sudden you find yourself a dead trader. So you can either go that route, or you can say, how do I free myself from this? What is it going to take to stress proof myself so that I'm no longer being triggered to revenge trade, get into trades, or just getting over trading, like revving up for opportunity? What is it going to actually take? Well, let's really start at a particular place, because ultimately, I really call it's responsibility. Is you can't help what got handed you through history that you fell into, got wired into you before you could even think. However, what you can do is understand this is the way it happens. A critical event happens, an activating event, and there is an immediate appraisal, okay? And that's by the thalamus, and that is what has to change. We have to change the way that traffic cop makes decisions on a rapid, primitive survival instinct level. Because out of that appraisal comes the emotion, good or bad. And out of that emotion comes behavior, the actions that you take. But what I want you to notice is it's the interpretation in the thalamus about whether or not this is an emergency, whether or not you can handle it. And when you're looking at your trading account, when you're looking at the P&L statement, what you're looking at is a truth meter that is telling you what the real emotions, what the real beliefs you have about your ability to manage uncertainty are on display right there. And most people will find that they really need to really check into their beliefs and to be able to start changing them, which is not as easy as just clicking your heels and saying a few affirmations and visualizing success. It's a lot different than that. You have to convince your caveman brain, the emotional brain, that it's time to change, and you give it a reason to change. This is your responsibility. It's not going to happen, and I promise you, it's wired by evolution very differently than it's going to help you. So, out of this, there is no such thing as freedom from emotion. A lot of people say, just leave your emotions at the door. Just try to do that. Just try to do that. However, what is possible is freedom of emotion. You are always going to be running into challenging moments, not just in trading, but they're a dime a dozen in trading, but in your life. And the question really becomes, what if you could train yourself, your brain, to respond by triggering and bringing forth different emotional programs than the ones that were there historically? This is when your brain and your emotional brain really begin to say, we can build a new partnership. And it can be something that absolutely revolutionizes the way that we trade. Why is this so? The piece that you need to get is that all thinking is emotional state dependent. You're looking at this right here as you see this heart representational of the emotional brain, and you see that pinkish looking thing that is representational of the thinking brain. And what you're seeing is you see the plug between them. And what you're recognizing is that you actually have the ability of training yourself to pull forward discipline, courage, self-soothing, and impartiality into the mind that engages that uncertainty if you train yourself. Okay? So you actually use emotion to create the brain that engages uncertainty. This, friends, is where the fun begins. It's like it is what has to happen. And maybe your strategy does need to be looked at, but the truth is, unless you can get this moment right here and learn how to manipulate and retrain the brain and the emotional brain so that you get the right set of emotional cocktails together to the kind of brain that you want engaging that uncertainty. Because ultimately, the only emotional states that you really need engaging uncertainty is the discipline of a ruler, the impartiality of a sage, and the patience of being calm. So you're going, those are the three emotional programs that are necessary, or at least that's the outcome. And the question is, how do you start? How do you start getting this all together and saying, something, I can manage this? The good news is that in the field that I live in the world that I live in, emotions are not feelings. They're not psychological. They are biological action potentials whose job is to coordinate activity between the environment, that would be the markets, and the organism, that would be the trader. And because they are biological action potentials, they also will have a biological signature that ramps up an emotion and moves it out. And the very first place is this. Emotional regulation, the way I teach it, starts with understanding the way you breathe is part of an emotion. Tomorrow, I would love for you to take a look at the way you breathe while trading. Most of you will find out that you start breathing very high in the chest, or you will start noticing that you're holding your breath. What you're doing when you breathe that way, you are halting air to the brain, and you are taking the emotion and you are revving it up and favoring fight flight. Okay? If you think about anger, or you think about fear, and so by going to diaphragmatic breathing, training yourself, not just in the yoga studio, but actually training yourself, which is the first step that I take in my trainings, is you train yourself to diaphragmatically breathe in the midst of uncertainty and the stress of uncertainty, and produce what is known as, and learning how to stress proof yourself. This is called emotional regulation. And what happens is that it will have, because it is biological, it will have a particular biological signature that includes diaphragmatic breathing and also the tension in your muscles. Those are both representation of what is known as emotional motivation. So what you've done there is, when calming the muscles down, when you feel tense muscles, when you're stressed, what you're feeling is the muscles preparing, the big muscles preparing you for fight or for fleeing. What you also are recognizing is that the tense muscles and the holding of the breath stops oxygen from the brain so that your logical brain cannot operate. So this is not something that's a nice idea. It's something that you have to do. If you're going to master the mind that trades, you're going to have to learn to regulate the emotions and the meaning of those emotions as they arise. And to kind of point this out, I want you to take it, look at this diagram. First thing, I want you to go back to a moment when you really truly got you either got angry, you got frightened, you got really stressed out, and you're just sitting there and you're just feeling it more and more and more and more and feeling it more.
All right, we're back. We are back. All right, we have made a move higher, just slowly and steadily.
Order submitted.
All right, did we see any setups while I was gone? UCLA, I should start doing that more often. All right, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. UCLA. That's funny. Kind of trading a breakout. It's just here's my, actually here, I can show you guys how my eval's going. The eval's progress today has been pretty good. Let me hide some of this stuff. This is not supposed to be on here. Here we go. So this is where we're at on our evals. This is the trade day account. We need about $420 more, and then we will have this account passed. I'm going to stop trading it for today. And this account is the take profit account. We're about $1,900 away from our profit target here. And then this is, so Friday, this is a Top Step account, that an old account actually. And I was gonna, it's only, the account is only active until November 4th. But Top Step had a free reset for accounts on Friday. They had a code for free resets. So I reset this account on Friday, and then Friday you could call it a YOLO. I YOLO'd it on Friday, and I got a $3,000 profit on Friday, and then this morning I finished it. So I guess technically we passed this 100K account from Top Step, but I don't know. Now I have to pay the activation fee. Oh, that's where they get me. That's where they'll get me. But I guess we'll use it as a backup. We'll use it as a backup to these 150K accounts, and we'll basically trade it the same way as a 150K account. And I guess we'll see what happens. Let's not be sharing that kind of information, or not on here anyway. All right. We are pulling back again. Top Step TV is introducing a new platform called Top Step X. What does that do? It's all about my hands are free. Uh, who was the guy talking? Rand Howell. I'm trying to get permission from Trader Dante, from Ton Dante. Um, I love to like play some of his video clips when I leave or when I go to lunch and stuff like that. So I'm still waiting to hear back from him. His assistant responded to me and said she has to wait till, I guess he's out of country right now or something. Darger, I have 3 Apex accounts that are on Rhythmic. I want to buy 5 more accounts, but using Tradeovate. Yes, you can do that, Dar. And I mean, I don't know if you know, or maybe you don't want to do this, but you can even connect your Rhythmic accounts to Ninja Trader and also connect your Tradeovate account. Hang on. Wait, so can I copy trade my Tradeovate account with Rhythmic account on Ninja? Yes, you can. I have a video that shows you how to do it, but basically you can connect if you have an Apex Rhythmic account and an Apex Tradeovate account, you can connect both of them and be connected to both of them at the same time. And if you have the Replicanto trade copier, both accounts show up and you can copy trade both of them across, you can copy trade across both accounts. So yes, it is possible. It's pretty sweet. A cash. Sorry, I wasn't reading. Trade of 8 or Ninja Trader or Rhythmic. Roman, I'm not sure actually. I was able to see my now. Oh, that is true. I have had a couple issues with the trade performance when using the Ninja Trader trade performance with a Trade account. Um, I do think there have been a couple issues with that. I'm not sure why. Let me actually see. I just want to see if I can show it, if it causes any issues or not. I know it doesn't show your commissions, which I don't like. So I usually actually go to Tradeovate to actually export my data into but it shows, I mean, for me it shows like this is what like my take profit account for today. It shows it and everything looks right. So but I don't know. For some reason I do think like I've had issues with it a little bit. User friendly and best in execution. Tradeovate or Ninja Trader or Rhythmic. If you're asking me what I use, I mean I would do Ninja Trader. Really, Roman, that is weird. Yeah, EJ, I know you can do that. Like you can set up so that your commissions, and I do that for my Rhythmic accounts, but the reason I don't do that for my Tradeovate accounts is so Tradeovate actually takes like actually the commissions do populate, or like when you look at your net profit, it is correct. And I don't add that as a commission, or I don't think I do. Let me double check here, but no, I don't. So I actually should play with that. I don't know if that makes a difference or not. Yeah, I prefer the Ninja Trader, the trade performance. I love it. I mean, I export everything into TradeZella. I like that the best, but again, but it's, yeah, that costs money. So hey, Bobby Chin, how we doing? Hey, Cash, what the Apex Trader, what do they mean by the 100K static account? Yeah, the static just means there's no intraday or end of day drawdown. It's just that drawdown never changes. But like like you can see, it's a very, very small buffer. But some people like that. They'll take it really, really slow in the beginning, build up their account balance, and then you have a lot more wiggle room. But I've never been a fan of it. For me, I don't think it's really a big enough buffer. What was the Top Step announcement today? Something about Top Step X someone mentioned. I'm not really up to date on it, so I'm not 100% sure. Oh, by the way, guys, um did you guys see the Patrick Wheeland and ICT beef? Oh man, that was some good stuff. Good stuff, man. I do have to say, I mean, as much as I've disagreed with Patrick Wheeland and stuff, I gotta say I'm on Team Patrick on this one. I gotta be on Team Patrick on that one. AHA Trades, how we doing? Or like, I mean, who here actually thinks that ICT is going to enter the Robbins Cup and you're going to actually be able to track him and see how he does? Who here actually believes that? Yeah, where's the $800? I still haven't seen it. Feels bad. That part, Patrick was mentioning in his video how he's good for the money and he'll pay up. And I wanted to comment and tell him, well, maybe you should start by paying your $800 that you still owe to me, and then I might believe you, but I decided not to. Yeah, Kevin B. He won't. I agree. Can I get rid of the heart symbol? Yes, I can. I thought I did. Hang on. Let me do it right now because I don't like that thing either. I'll do it if you guys like the video. How's that? Like the video and I'll get rid of the heart symbol. All right, everybody hit the heart symbol and the like button as a rest in peace because it's about to go. The heart symbol will disappear in 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much. And it's gone. That was blackmail. Pure blackmail. I agree. I'm not even ashamed. But I've reached out to Patrick a couple of times about that $800 that seemed, that he just, never actually, he said Patrick Whelan's always pay. I mean, he's just ignored it. I've reached out to him 3 different times and he just ignores me. So, I guess it is what it is. I guess it is what it is. I really was going to take out my wife to a very fancy date with that $800, but oh well, we'll survive. You found 2 unique Buellnox codes from another YouTuber for 150 for 4. Do you mind if I share since you don't promote them? Jeep Properties. I prefer not. That's just, I don't want to be picky. But if I start letting that happen, I don't know. It can kind of get out of hand. If someone's looking to find Buellnox codes, then it's pretty easy to find them. What happens if I hit refresh? Refresh what, EJ? I'm not sure what you mean. Delete it. You're just going to get banned, John. Oh, the heart emoji? The heart emoji should be gone. Is it not gone for you guys? It should be gone. You were banned before. Okay, it should be gone. I wonder if that's something I can like customize and make it so it never shows up. I'm going to try see if I can look at that. Hey, you know what we need to do? I just realized this. Kyle, I don't know if he's still listening or not, but Kyle has officially served his 1 week sentence. So Kyle is no longer banned. Wait, the heart emoji is still there for you, EJ? That's weird. What kind of? I wonder if it's because of the browser you're using or something. Where I think this market is going, I'm not sure. Right now, I don't really have a bias. I think it's just doing well, and it's just chop fest right now. Ooh, we are selling off here. Selling off. See if this holds or not.